On September 27th, 2022, Kinetic Games released a major update for the game Phasmophobia, adding new maps, updated ghosts, a new lobby, but most importantly, custom difficulties. Previously, players had been limited to 4 difficulties: Amateur, Intermediate, Professional, and Nightmare. Now, players were able to adjust the difficulty to their exact preferences, which not only affected how hard the game was, but also the reward multiplier. Previously, the highest reward multiplier was 4x at the Nightmare difficulty. With the release of custom difficulties, however, that number skyrocketed all the way up to 24x, a 600% increase from before. This change, combined with the 4 objectives in a round of Phasmo, led me to set on my quest to complete the Phasmophobia 4x24 challenge. For those who have never played, here's how a typical game of Phasmophobia plays out. You and your ghost hunting friends will join a lobby, add equipment, select your job, and load into the game. Once loaded, y'all will grab your equipment and enter the house. While in there, you will have 4 objectives to complete. The only objective required to consider a game 1 is to discover the ghost type, typically by using your equipment to discover evidence, which indicates specific ghosts. Then there are the 3 optional objectives. These can be a variety of things, but more on that later. My goal for this challenge was to complete all 3 optional objectives and then correctly determine the ghost type while having the highest possible rewards multiplier. So, I gathered a couple of friends and set off on my journey. Now is a good time to mention, if you want to see me and my friends play games in the future, I stream most of it here on this very YouTube channel, so hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell to get notified of whenever I go live. This friendly poltergeist did it, so you should too, or else this friendly poltergeist may not be quite as friendly. Anyways, back to the story. Me, Cora, and Ryan thought we knew what we were getting ourselves into. We weren't the first people to try this by a long shot, and there were enough success stories to make us think this would be easy, but we were very wrong. Our main obstacle is the mechanic in Phasmo known as ghost hunts. These get triggered when the average sanity of the party drops below a certain amount. Typically, you would lose sanity by being in the house for a long amount of time. However, as part of the difficulty changes, our sanity started at 0%. Mixing that with having to turn up the ghost hunt frequency meant that the ghosts would hunt as soon as we entered the house. Normally, this would be combated by taking sanity pills, which normally restore around 25% of your sanity. However, the game developers decided to add how much sanity the pills restore as a customizable setting, which meant that sanity pills now restored 0% of our sanity. After realizing that we couldn't enter the house for more than a few seconds at a time, we decided that throwing ourselves at the ghost repeatedly was the best course of action. I think our best bet is to walk in there as a group. And Ryan, we can't hear you.
Wait, please do this. Stop. Oh, wait.
I had a whole thing.
Alright, let's go.
I just feel bad.
What did you do?
Well, I had like this whole speech on how I was gonna grab the microphone and like solve the whole murder case. And then I signed my theme song. I got a 1. Nope. I died.
Did we all die?
Yeah.
Well, that didn't go like quite as I hoped. Obviously, we were wrong about that. It took us about 30 minutes of doing that for us to switch up our strategy a little bit. You see, there are quite a few optional objectives in Phasmophobia, and for the sake of this video, I'll separate them into 2 different categories. The first is direct ghost interactions. This includes anything that involves the player and the ghost directly interacting with each other. This includes things like capture a photo of the ghost or have a member of your team escape the ghost during a hunt. These ones are all nearly impossible to live through. The other category is equipment interactions. This involves any objectives that are the ghost interacting with a piece of equipment in some way, such as find evidence of the paranormal with an EMF reader, or get a ghost to walk through salt. These ones essentially end up being a waiting game. Obviously, the second category is what we were looking for. Easy objectives that we can simply throw something into the house and run out, giving us the lowest chance of death. So we started skipping the games that had impossible objectives immediately instead of hoping that we can manage to complete those difficult objectives, which, given that this essentially turns into a numbers game, meant the world. Oh, escaped during a hunt. Yep. Okay, we're just gonna guess this one.
I'm guessing demon.
I'm guessing Raiju.
Do we have to open? I don't think we have to open up the door. Hold
We
up.
do, because closing the
No.
door is what signals you.
No.
Well, yeah, no, I was saying the other door.
Oh, no. We just have to do the truck door.
It's a Hantu.
That being said, we still lost a lot of games, and with losing games meant losing money. Not real money, mind you. In Phasmo, every piece of equipment costs in-game money, so other than the bare essentials that are included for free, we had to pay for every piece of equipment. And since we wanted to maximize the number of possible objectives, we had to put a bunch of equipment in. However, this also meant that whenever we died, we lost all of that equipment. And even if we got some of the objectives completed, that profit got cut in half since we died. All that to say, we were losing money fast. That meant that every few games, we had to stray from the challenge to make more money, which meant it took even more time. Eventually, after 4 hours of playing, we gave up for the evening, promising to come back soon and complete it. Alright. Are you all done?
Yes.
I'm done.
Okay. I think this is done then.
No offense. How many hours did we do?
4 hours?
Yeah, I think that's enough for a day.
Yeah. Those 4 hours, however, proved to be more mentally taxing than we anticipated. And as of writing this script, none of us have played Phasmo since. We still wanted to complete the challenge, but with the knowledge that the next 4-hour session might not be the last, we found it hard to build enough motivation to keep trying. We were scared. More scared than when I was surrounded by KKK members. I think I'm about to get sacrificed by the KKK. More scared than when I watched The Shining. Not that that's difficult.
Remember what Mr. Halloran said.
That fear paralyzed us. And honestly, I wasn't sure if we would ever finish it. But this obviously isn't the end, because this would be a terribly unsatisfying ending. But before we continue, I want to say this. Phasmo is an amazing game. It's a game I've had a lot of fun with, and I would highly recommend it. I would just suggest playing it at a slightly easier difficulty, unless, you know, you're one of those people who like these next to impossible difficulties, like Elden Ring, or Dark Souls. That's where I was getting confused. Check it out if you think you'll enjoy the gameplay. It's a really fun game. I think it's like only like $15 too. You can probably wait, and it will go on sale in like the summer sale in like 4 months, or I'm sure they'll have more sales here soon. But yeah, I think I've padded enough time in here to subtly imply a time skip. So let's get back to that voiceover, shall we? On January 19th, 2023, we set back to it. 3 months almost to the day from when we started. We all sat down and booted up Phasmo with fresh minds, fresh bodies, and more caffeine than any 3 humans should drink in a lifetime. We have been dreading this day for months, but finally, it was time. We started out by refreshing ourselves on our strategies, including what objectives we could complete and what equipment we needed to add. We had a lot of success early on, getting all 3 optional objectives completed in 2 different games within the first hour. However, we failed to guess the ghost type correctly, and that streak continued through the 2nd and 3rd hours. After the first couple rounds of getting so very close but failing, we decided to alter our strategy slightly for a few rounds. Ryan would add all of the equipment and then sit in the van. While there, he watched a 20-minute video and took notes on all of the ghost types, trying to find a specific identifier for each ghost type. Once he finished, we went back to our old system of each adding a handful of equipment, so no one lost too much money at once. We were better prepared, but that was only one of our limitations. Our other limitation was our weak human forms. We were all getting tired and fast, which would have been fine except 2 of us had work in the morning. I saw this drop in morale and knew I had to make a decision. Do we continue on tonight, or do we call it here, having seen the door to victory and collapsed at the steps before it? I think this is LG.
I think so.
At this point, I didn't think we were ever going to finish this challenge. This session drained us to our core, and I didn't know if we were ever going to find the motivation to sit back down and complete another one. But then something kind of crazy happened. We had 3 completable objectives. Detect a ghost presence with a motion sensor, which I completed on the first hunt without dying. Well, the second objective was have a member of your team witness a ghost event, which I completed again in a terrifying moment.
Do you want me to place
Just-
this loose fix? Oh,
There's a ghost event.
That's event.
That sounded like a ball.
That left us with our third and final optional objective, find evidence of the paranormal with an EMF reader. After a very terrifying hunt involving Ryan nearly dying,
Nah, really?
so like
No,
I'm
I'm
outside
not
the
making
house
it out of this.
with the crucifix.
we heard one of the most beautiful sounds we had heard all day. A car horn. In Phasmophobia, the ghost can interact with various objects throughout the house, such as the car, the television, faucets, doors, and a handful of other things. On top of telling you where the ghost is located, this also leaves behind an EMF signal, the exact signal we needed. So in a rare moment of bravery, Cora picked up the EMF reader and ventured into the depths of the house, completing the third objective.
And if I can get there.
Got
EMF
EMF.
went off. Come back.
Hell yeah.
Okay. After completing them, we had one last burst of hope and energy. So we took some time to think through the events that had happened so far this round, analyzing every move the ghost made and throwing more things in the house to attempt to narrow down the options even further. After 10 minutes of debating what the ghost could be and getting very tired of the previously beautiful car horn, we finally settled on 3, one for each of us to guess. I selected Onryo, Ryan selected Jin, and Cora selected Raiju. Finally, after a nearly 30-minute long round, we closed the doors to the bus to end the round, accepting that the odds of us guessing right were nearly 10-1. And after what felt like the longest loading screen ever, this happened.
Look at the straws.
Welcome back. I prepared some jobs for you.
What?
Did you?
Did someone pick it?
No.
Yeah, I did. Wait, hold up. Let me see
Wait,
if it gives me
Cora.
the... Hold up. It will tell me if I got
Cora?
it.
Cora.
Cora.
Yeah.
Take a picture of your phone.
God, take a stupid screenshot. We rushed Cora to screenshot her game. After confirming that she had actually guessed the ghost correctly, we all breathed a deep sigh of relief. This challenge we had been dreading was finished. We had pushed ourselves to our mental and physical limits in order to complete this challenge, and we were finally done. And after a grueling 3.5-hour session late into the night, we all left the call and went to bed. All right.
Throw up. I feel like throwing up. I hate this game. I'm not
Oh.
playing this game ever again.
Stream going bye-bye. If I had to try and provide a moral of the story for all of this, games are meant to be enjoyed at your skill level. It was stupid of us to try and complete this extremely difficult task when none of us are that crazy good at Phasmo. I think that can kind of show in some of these clips you've seen. There was not a lot going on outside of those specific clips I chose. It was a lot of just quietly walking in there, seeing if we could get the stuff done. If we could, okay, what do we think it is? La-di-da-di-da. There wasn't much actually going on, and we weren't really having fun with the game. We were just playing the game, but not really playing the game. Play games at your level. because your level is the way you'll have the most fun at the game. So, yeah, this was fun, but I think I can safely say this challenge has effectively killed the game for us, and all three of us are going to be taking a very, very long break from Phasmophobia. Thank you for watching.